Namaste. This presentation is for educational purposes only and does not claim to diagnose, prevent, or cure any diseases or disorders. The advice and methods of this presentation should not be construed as financial, medical, or psychological advice or treatment. Please seek advice from a professional if you have a serious issue, and if a Chod session doesn't feel right to you, please do not perform it. This meditation contains imagery that some may find disturbing, discretion advised, and by watching and or participating in this presentation, you understand that results are not guaranteed. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred from the practices and meditations contained in this video. Infallible essential nature of the three jewels, embodiment of the Buddha's three bodies, great perfection Dharma King and of the three realms, to you Dujam Lingpa we pray. In the play of Dharma, Samsara, and Nirvana pure and equal, may realization and liberation be actualized, and Buddhahood attained. What I just shared with you is a supplication to the 19th century sage Dujam Lingpa. I'm going to read just a little bit about him. He lived from 1835 to 1904. He was a Tibetan meditation master, spiritual teacher, and spiritual teacher. He stands out from the norm of Tibetan Buddhist teachers in the sense that he had no formal education, nor did he take ordination as a monk or belong to any established Buddhist school or tradition of his time. He was met with great skepticism by many of his contemporaries due to that fact. But despite not studying under any established Buddhist teachers of his time, he claimed to receive teachings on meditation and spiritual practice directly from non-physical masters like Guru Rinpoche, Yese Chongyal, as well as bodhisattvas such as Avalokiteshvara and Manjushri. It was not until his disciples started showing clear signs of spiritual maturity that he was accepted by his contemporaries as an authentic teacher. So, namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir. This is Yamajit. Thank you so very much for joining me. And I'd like to say namaste to Kim, to Bryce, to Jamie, to Ali, and Kelly, who are joining right now, and anybody else who happens to be tuning in. Please feel free to say hello using the chat function on the bottom of your screen. So tonight we're going to be doing a Yoga Nidra meditation, and it will conclude with Dujam Lingpa's Cho ceremony known as the Concise Severance. And I'll be presenting and sharing that in English. You may have already noticed that there is a Tibetan version of this week's Chod practice already posted on YouTube. Technically, it's part 2 of the 2-part series. And I invite you, if you haven't already, to listen to that and participate in it as a sound meditation for the healing of body, mind, and spirit. I'd like to start out with a couple of announcements before we go into giving you any more information. So this coming Tuesday, for our Tuesday meditation, I'll be sharing the Adya Stotram as a meditation. The Adya Stotram is a hymn to the goddess Kali and her many aspects. And then next Friday will be the part 11 of our 64 Yogini series, and I'll be sharing a puja and satsang to Vanaramukhi, who is the Divine Mother with the face of a monkey. And also, before we go any further, there's somebody I would like to remember. And this is Tsering Wangdu Rinpoche. I'm going to show you a picture on a book cover. He left his body on October the 24th. And during Thanksgiving week on the 22nd, his cremation was held, and it happened to be held here in Colorado at the Tara Mandala Center. And Lama Wangdu was somebody who really inspired me to explore Chod practice as a guided healing meditation. I saw some short YouTube videos of him doing that sort of practice himself. I only wish I could have had the opportunity to study under him while he was still alive. But the Chod melody, one of the Chod melodies I'll be using tonight, the one at the very beginning, for a short section of the middle and the end, is one that he taught his students. And it's the same tune that the Tibetan, full Tibetan version of tonight's Chod is being sung in. So I just wanted to acknowledge an amazing life and somebody who was really instrumental in bringing these practices to the West. So just add a couple more things here. So our presentation will be an adaptation of a traditional Tibetan Chod practice. This one will be dedicated to the feminine Buddha, Tramanagmo, who's the black Vajra Yogini. It's going to be offered as a guided sound meditation accompanying a yoga nidra for the healing of body, mind, and spirit. Just to say a little bit more about Chod practice for anybody new to this series who wants to learn more about this practice, I invite you to watch the previous recorded installments of our Chod practice series that are available on this channel. So tonight's practice is going to take place in the following stages. So we're going to begin with a deep breathing meditation, and I'll give you a chance to prepare for our yoga nidra. You're welcome to. Traditionally, yoga nidra is done lying down in shavasana, but it can be done as a seated meditation as well. But I'll be doing the induction into the yoga nidra meditative state. We'll be doing the typical body scan where we're focusing on different parts of the body. We'll also be doing a little focusing on the breath and a short meditation on opposites. And then we're going to go into our Chod practice. So we're going to begin with some opening prayers, which are associated with what is called the refuge, where we are asking the divine to be with us, and the bodhicitta, which essentially we are acknowledging that all sentient beings are experiencing suffering, and we are doing this practice not just for ourselves, but for the good of all living beings. And then what's going to be interesting about this particular form of the Chod practice is it includes a section on deity generation. That is a proper visualization of Ma Tromanagmo and all of her symbolism. And the reason I have this Tonka image that you see at the center of your screen is this is one I have hanging on the wall of the temple, and it just happens to be exactly what you're going to be visualizing. So we will visualize Ma. Let me get the right setting here. Ma Tromanagmo. She is dancing upon a solar disk. Some issues with my laser pointer here. There we go. And then you'll notice that she is dancing upon a corpse in Balasana, or child's pose. And she is surrounded by 4 directional dakinis. And this is a very classical mandala. In her right hand, she's holding a Vajra chopper blade. In her left, she's holding a Kapala, or skull cup. She is supporting a skull staff called a Katvanga, which also represents her male consort. And being in the center, she represents the concept of the Buddha Dakini. And the Buddha Dakini transforms the poison of confusion to the wisdom of the Dharma, the wisdom of right action. And then if we look at the bottom and on the left, the white Dakini, this is Vajra Dakini, who represents the transformation of the poison of anger to mirror-like wisdom. Then above, so that bottom left is associated with the east direction. Then when we move up to the top left, we see the yellow Ratna Dakini, who represents the transformation of the poison of pride to equanimity wisdom. Then we move over to the top right. This would be the western direction, and the red Padma Dakini, who represents the transformation of the poison of craving to the wisdom of discernment. And then finally on the bottom right, the green Karma Dakini, who transforms the poison of envy to all-encompassing wisdom. So this is what you'll be visualizing during our deity generation. So from that point, we're going to be doing kind of a reiteration of the refuge and bodhicitta, followed by the poa, and that is our consciousness will be ejected through the top of our heads. We're going to visualize that, and it's going to manifest in the form of this deity, Tromanagmo, with our lifeless corpse laying below. And we're going to visualize her cutting that into pieces with her chopping blade, slicing the top of our skull off. That's going to be her cauldron. Those pieces are going to be boiled into a wisdom nectar, the steam of which is then going to congeal in the sky as clouds and be carried to all the different forms of beings that are out there. And essentially, we're going to be offering ourselves to what is known as the 4 classes of beings. And so this would include the peaceful deities, our teachers, other enlightened beings, and those clouds are going to manifest in the form of things like puja offerings, also jewels, precious metals, silks, palaces, those types of things that those beings would enjoy. The second class would be the wrathful deities, and that nectar for them is going to manifest into the form of things like meat and wine and dwelling places and horses and armor and weapons. And then for the third class, I'm going to hold up this other Tonka image. See if I can get that in view of. This is the Tonka of the Wheel of Life, which you've probably seen. And this illustrates 6 different realms, 6 really different forms of consciousness and states of being. So at the very bottom is the hell realm. And then to the bottom right is the realm of the hungry ghosts. The bottom left, the realm of animals and animal consciousness. Upper right, the realm of humans. The upper left will be the realm of the jealous deities. These are forms of consciousness that are in constant competition. And then finally, at the top, the most heavenly deities. And again, those clouds of nectar are going to nourish those 6 realms, and they will manifest into those things that these different classes of beings most desire. And then the final of the 4 classes of beings would be the malevolent spirits, our inner demons, and they will get offerings of flesh, bone, fat, and blood, the things that they most desire. So we're boiling this nectar. We're going to be dedicating it to these different classes of beings. And then finally at the end, there's the giving of Dharma. And we're expressing our wishes that as these different beings consume these offerings, they become enlightened. Their consciousness is changed from being afflicted, from suffering. Their sufferings are relieved, and they will take the form of bodhisattvas. And then there'll be a phase where I'll invite you just to meditate quietly, and I'll be reciting the Tromanagmo mantra as just just to generate some final healing energy. So that's going to be our practice in a nutshell. So again, welcome and namaste, and I hope you enjoy tonight's guided meditation. So let's go ahead and prepare for what we're about to do. Make sure that your mat and or props or straight back chair are positioned so that they can be used. Really, the idea for this first part is to ground, to center, and to prepare for the work we're about to do, and also to make ourselves as comfortable as possible. So if you're lying down, you can lie down in Shavasana. Typically, that's on your back. You might want a pillow behind your head, maybe something supporting under your knees to help the lower back. You may want a blanket over you. The feet are a comfortable distance apart. The feet themselves can drop to opposite sides, and traditionally the palms are facing upwards. If you're doing this as a seated meditation, just find a seated position where you can sit comfortably and your back is straight. You might want to roll the shoulders back to facilitate a more open breath. So begin to find that comfortable position. If you need to move in the course of this meditation to be more comfortable, you certainly can. But try to make yourself so comfortable you won't need to for these several minutes. So I invite you now to prepare for Yoga Nidra and our Chod visualization. So make sure you're becoming comfortable, and then fine-tune your comfort even more. Make those necessary adjustments and micro adjustments. And then I invite you to slowly close your eyes. And let's begin with some long, slow, deep yogic breathing. Taking a moment to prepare. Letting go of all the distractions, all the anxieties of the day, the anxieties of tomorrow, the stress of the day. Just let those drop away with each out breath. And breathe in an increasing sense of relaxation, and a willingness to focus on the present moment. And as you prepare, I invite you to think about some aspect of your life that's ready for healing. And you can make the declaration that the energies of this practice will go toward that healing. And you can also think of somebody else close to you who's in need of healing. So breathe deeply. Make sure your eyes are closed. Open your receptivity. There's no right or wrong way to experience this practice. What you experience will be uniquely your own. It'll be what you need at this moment. I'll guide you through the practice, but you don't have to listen to absolutely everything I say. It's perfectly fine if you drift off sometimes so that my voice just becomes a safe sound in the background. And toward the middle of this Nidra, I'll be inviting you and or feel the experience of our Chod practice. Our bodies for the liberation of all sentient beings. So now I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath. And if you'd like, inhale through your nose. Expand, hold for a moment, and then let go with a sigh. And with that sigh, let it help in relaxing the whole body. And let's do another inhalation through the nose again, expanding the belly. And then letting go. And then finally, let's do that one more time. One more deep inhalation. Just exhale and soften. Breathing deeply, relaxing. It sounds like there's some audio problems. Let me make a slight adjustment. If anybody would be willing to volunteer and let me know if that's continuing. I'm going to go ahead and continue through the meditation. And if it turns out there are audio problems, I will do a rebroadcast. But in the meantime, just relax, breathe deeply. And we're going to begin the body scan. So when I mention a body part, bring your awareness there, and if you like, imagine filling each part of the body with a golden, warm, nurturing light. So I invite you to start at the top of the head, then the forehead, the right eye, your left eye, and then both eyes together. And focusing on the nose, your mouth, your right cheek, left cheek, both cheeks together. Your right ear, your left ear, both ears together. Back of your head, the neck, the throat. And now focusing on the right side of the body, a golden light gently touching the right shoulder, your upper arm, your forearm, your hand, and then the whole of the right arm, then the right underarm, side of the ribs, and then and the space between the outside of the upper body and your arm. And then focus that golden light on the right side of the chest, right side of the belly, your right hip, your right thigh, your lower leg, your foot, the whole of the right leg, then the right side of the pelvis, your lower back, upper back, the whole right side of the body. And notice, is there a difference between the sensations in the right and left side of the body? Are they similar? Are they different? And then bring your awareness to the left side of the body. A golden light gently touching the left shoulder, left upper arm, left forearm, and hand. And then the whole of the left arm, the left underarm, outside of the ribs, the waist, the space between the side of the body and the arm as well. And focus that golden light on the left side of your chest, and then your heart center. Then the left side of the belly, the left hip, the left thigh, the lower leg and foot, and then the whole of the left leg together. Then focus that golden light on the left side of the pelvis, the lower back, and the whole of the body. And then the whole of the body together. Body together. The whole of the body together. The whole of the body, bathed in So now let your awareness rest at the soles of the feet for a moment. And just observe for a moment how that feels. Well, that's also an observation. And breathe in. Imagine drawing energy up through the soles of the feet, along your legs, your hips, your upper body, all the way up to the shoulders. And as you exhale, feel the energy moving in the opposite direction from the shoulders all the way down to the soles of your feet. Inhaling up from the soles of the feet to your shoulders. And then exhale from the shoulders to the soles of the feet. And continue now at your own pace, inhaling up, exhaling down. The movement of the breath upwards and downwards, like a soft wave that gives you energy, thing that you don't need away. And then just letting go of the awareness of the breath. And now exploring if any part of the body feels a little warmer than the rest. And if you can't find anything special, you can choose to focus on your heart, for example, and just imagine a nurturing warmth in that place. And now begin to feel any part of the body that feels a little cooler than the rest. And if you can't find anything special, then you can choose to focus on the sensation between the upper lip and the nose. Perhaps the air is slightly cooler as you inhale. And then bring your attention back to where it feels warm. And back to where it feels cool. And back to where it feels warm again. And begin to imagine that warmth expanding in the body. Expanding with each breath. And when the warmth reaches the area that feels cooler, then let these two merge. The warmth meeting the cool. Perfect temperature. Balance. Harmony. And letting go. And now bring your attention back to your heart center. Breathing deeply and emptying your mind of any thoughts or impressions. And then continue to breathe deeply and open your sense of receptivity. And let the sound of my voice, the energies of the mantras, and the playing of the instruments guide your consciousness to the experiences that you need at this moment. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Key. In the mandala of the wisdom dakini, in balanced awareness we take refuge within the uncontrived nature of the three realms of existence as the three embodiments in great self-liberation. Generate the enlightened mind. Ho! By the great sovereign mother of the space of the ground, send forth the blessings and empowerments of the great secret wisdom. Pay. Pay. Upon a lotus of non-attachment, upon a solar disk, is the natural display of compassion, the dark blue dakini tromanagmo, with a single face and two hands, holding a vajra blade and skull cup, supporting a skull staff and dancing posture, with gaping mouth, tongue curled back and bared fangs, three bulging eyes rolling and rolling, and orange-colored hair flaring upwards, wearing all the graveyard ornaments, standing in a blazing mass of fire, as the playful display of magical wisdom. To the east is white Vajra Dakini, to the south is yellow Ratna Dakini, to the west is red Padma Dakini, to the north is green Karma Dakini, all of whom are in a dancing posture, holding Vajra blades and skull cups, surrounded by 100,000 Dakinis. They overcome the three realms without exception, suppressing the three realms through their splendor. Pay. Pay. Bewildered thinking of outer and inner. Clinging is cleared away in its own nature. The cause is brought under control, and the apparent conditions suppressed by splendor. Hey! We take refuge in the sacred sources. The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We attain perfect Buddhahood, so that all beings may be placed in that state. Pay. Innately pure self-awareness is the venerable trauma Namo. Pay. Arising out of the crowns of our heads, the goddess of samsara and nirvana. Pay. 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 The skull crown is severed with a curved knife and placed on a hearth of 3 human skulls, as vast as the 3,000-fold universe. Within the skull cup are dismembered bodies, are boiled into the nectar of wisdom. All existence without exception radiates forth, expanding as ocean like clouds of offering. Om Ahom, Om Ahom, Om Ahom. Pay, pay, pay. We offer to the ocean of the 3 jewels and to the 3 roots. We offer to the 3 subtle bodies, 3 lineages and awareness holders. We offer to the ocean of oath-bound ones, of the basic space of wisdom. May the accumulations be perfected, the obscurations purified, and may compassion be spontaneously achieved. May compassion be achieved. Hum, hum, hum. Pay, pay, pay. All all sentient beings in the three realms, all demons, spirits, and obstructors are the recipients of the pleasing offerings. All debts and retributions being cleared, may all sentient beings attain perfect Buddhahood. May all sentient beings attain Buddhahood. Pay. All virtue is completely dedicated to the beings of the six realms. May all beings attain Buddhahood in a single lifetime. In the invisibility of our minds, the offerings and the recipients, we rest in the single taste of expanse of the great mother of the enlightened mind. Pay. May all those with whom we've had good or bad karmic associations be embraced by the victors now. May all beings enter the supreme vehicle and attain the state of primordial Buddhahood. And attain the state of Buddhahood. Pay. So I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of the imagery of the meditation, and just letting the sound of our mantra energize you, heal you, and guide your awareness to where it needs to be at this moment. Om Benza Krodakali Bamarini Saum Pei. 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 Om Benza Krodakali Bamarini. Om Benza Krodakali Bamarini Saum Pei. Om Benza Krodakali Bamarini Saum Pei. Om benza krotikali bamanini saumpe. Om benza krotikali bamanini saumpe. Om benza krotikali bamanini sahumpe. Om benza krotikali bamanini sahumpe. Om benza krotikali bamanini saumpe. Om benza krotikali bamanini sahumpe. Jema. 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 I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath. Letting go of the meditation and beginning to bring your awareness back to your own personal space. Become aware of your body, seated or lying on the floor. Feel the clothes upon your skin, the temperature of the air surrounding you. Notice the sound of my voice and any other sounds in your particular area. And then slowly move your fingers and toes, your arms and legs, hands and feet. And then if you're lying down, when you feel ready, I invite you to roll over onto one side and just rest there for a moment. And then I invite you to engage your arms and bring yourself back up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed. And then slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center for our final benediction. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a moment to give gratitude to the Divine Mother for being with you always. That the effects of this practice will manifest to come, and that you can replay this broadcast at any time that you want to do this meditation. And again, I invite you to meditate to the same Chod practice in its original Tibetan. And also, I invite you to give Gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice. And then slowly opening your eyes, keeping a relaxed gaze. And namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me. And Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Thank you. So there is something that seems to be happening with these broadcasts. It was first discovered by my wife, Jamie, that sometimes the sound and even the image cuts out sometimes, and it seems to be something to do with either maybe the individual machine that you're watching the broadcast on, or perhaps your personal connection, your Wi-Fi or LAN that you might be using. And something I notice is the number of participants. Sometimes it goes from like 6, 5, 4, and then all of a sudden it goes back to 6. And it turns out in the end, when I check the broadcast, everything's fine. Everything was recorded sufficiently. So if this ever happens to you, I invite you to replay the broadcast and do the meditation again without those interruptions. And then Allie, who I want to thank because she became our sound monitor during this broadcast. And she let me know that on her end, the sound was okay after a while. And she wrote something just, I think, is very beautiful. I'm going to share it. It says, it's okay if the sound comes out. It's okay. Let me read that again. It says, it's okay. The sound comes out fine after the broadcast. The offenses of the darkness seems to elude the heart from hearing you live. We will receive the blessing even if we only hear a moment of the Dharma. So, Ali, I want to thank you for that. And again, if you had some difficulty with the sound, replay the broadcast. It should be fine for you. If you have any questions, please email me at the temple email address, omcdevi, that's AUMC Devi, DEVI, at gmail.com. If you have questions, if there's anything from the practice that you'd like to share, I love hearing from you. And I'm also I also welcome suggestions for things that you might like to see shared on this channel. So before resuming your regular activities, I would suggest resting for a little while, taking it easy, transition back into your normal waking state. And again, I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for your patience. And I also want to thank everybody who'll be watching the recordings at a later time. And again, namaste. Have a wonderful night. I look forward to you joining us for our Tuesday meditation, 7 p.m. on YouTube. You can also always join us live at our temple, 1260 South Xavier Street in Denver. And just thank you, and Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di.